All right, it's time for us to start talking about FaZe versus Liquid. Yes, indeed, the Counter-Strike getting ever closer, and the Brazilian fans are already taking to the stands, taking to their seats as they prepare to see their boy Taco and Zeus walk out. No doubt going to be the home side in this affair. FaZe know it, and they're fully aware of it, preparing their stand-in Croman, the less experienced member, for what will be a rather unique experience. We saw Space Soldiers weather the storm yesterday, and it is quite an intriguing conversation to be had with my analysts. I'm not alone, fortunately. That would be rather boring rather quickly. We do have Chad Sponge Birchall and Mathieu Maniac Kikre. I'm butchering it, but I like it. It's fun, makes me feel exotic.
If I was doing your job, I wouldn't even attempt it.
I like to honor it. You know, I had to deal with Paunovic.
Yeah.
So I've got Kikre now. Kikre. It's a challenge. I like it. I like the. I mean, Belo Horizonte still not willing to try and do the whole thing.
Yeah, I know. This
It
is where I
sounds-
just go. Oh, it stands for beautiful horizon, Alex. Haha, you know, like a.
Yeah, and you can't say Belo because that just means beautiful.
Oh.
Yeah. So if I'm hearing Belo, I'm hearing beautiful.
You hear it all the time
Quite
anyway,
charming.
mate, don't you?
Stop it, you. Anyway, Counter-Strike, our first game, FaZe versus Liquid. And I don't know where I want to start, which team specifically I want to start with. I think we should run with that FaZe thread just because we had the Guardian interview as well, which did spark a couple of interesting conversation topics. Matthew, one of the things they talked about was Croman. And something that's so insane is he's something like, he's earned 400% of his winnings previously with FaZe already. That's a statement about how inexperienced this guy is.
Yeah, and I think it's also a statement to how crazy it must be for him
Yeah.
to be here. I want to talk a little bit about his performance because I really think his good performance right now is or was one of the sine qua non condition for FaZe to have a deep run.
Yeah.
So first off, being a standing is not easy. So you sometimes end up with positions you don't really play, roles you don't really want to have. And despite all of that, Croman is putting up the numbers. He's currently at 130 rating for the tournament. So him being able to step up his game and filling his role is a very good sign for FaZe and also a sign of his integration in the game plan that actually works.
And it's working really quickly. This is the second event with them, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, filling in for Heroic prior to that as well, I believe. And actually, to join us in this conversation, I'll be talking to Chad after in just a moment, but we do have the casters, your commentators for this one are standing by. Let's introduce them as well. Henry G and Sadikist. Gents, what do you think about this one? Croman, 2 events already, one of the highest rated players on FaZe.
Yeah, good morning, Brazil. Very impressive for him to be a stand-in. I think it helps when you have teammates around you of that caliber. You can fit in, you can be more comfortable. There's less pressure on him to carry and just do his job.
I've always said it. He seems like a real safe pair of hands. I don't think he's ever going to do the flashiest, crazy frags, but he's always going to be in those positions where he's anchoring, good for 1 or 2 every single time. Whatever he can do on the big stage, I really want to see him tested today. It's a difficult team to be up against, but we know Liquid are looking a little bit scrappy. They're not looking their absolute best right now. They're up and down throughout this tournament. Yesterday was much better, but FaZe, I don't like the fact they said they haven't done any specific prep for this team. They're just going in, playing their own game. I feel like when you haven't got the full squad in here right now, they might have to have some secrets up their sleeve.
Yeah, I think so, and maybe even just individually, knowing the trends. If Guardian's going to take off battles, knowing how to play them, it changes things considerably. You're right. I think Liquid, I have to lean toward them, honestly,
I think so as well.
with the way they're informed. But Alex, it's going to be a great game, and I know the crowd's going to be behind Liquid, so how can FaZe and Croman respond?
Yeah, it's going to be such a challenge. Thank you so much. That's Henry G and Sadikist. They'll be casting for you guys on the stream. We'll, of course, have the local dudes hanging out here in the arena in case you're wondering why you're seeing 2 different screens, 2 different casters. I promise it does make sense if you're here. So, Chad, anything else to add to this conversation? They say Liquid's looking shaky, and we'll get to that. But first, I mean, this Croman, couple of events, he's safe pair of hands. I felt like Exist filled the safe pair of hands much more so than Croman.
I think Croman is more, I think Henry hit the nail on the head with getting, 1 to 2 frags every time. What we were saying more with Exist being a safe pair of hands was he's so experienced that he can fill any of the roles that is necessary of him. Whereas Croman definitely has more firepower, more explosiveness to him, and I think he can have a lot more impact within this FaZe roster.
I mean, we heard from Carrigan, actually. He gave an interview earlier on in the tournament, Matthew, where he said that he considers Croman, he realized after London that they have to use Croman differently to the way they did Exist. They're not just slotting him into Olaf's positions, they're giving him new freedoms. And I don't know how I feel about that. You're suddenly changing what the other 4 are doing for your stand-in.
Well, I think Chad made a very good point about Exist experience. So, as I said, it's not easy to just fill a role, and a player like Exist has the experience, has the knowledge to be way more flexible and be impactful, or as impactful as can be. Maybe Croman needed a little bit more adjustment, maybe he needs some positions, and I think it's a win-win situation. He feels better in the positions they gave him, and FaZe is actually doing good.
Yeah, no, I think it's an intriguing one.
Yeah, well, there's just like a couple of stats with him in this team, right? He's had 11 opening kills, and they've won 100% of the rounds where he's had an opening kill. So that's a pretty good stat. But when they've played, I think it's like 69 rounds of Counter-Strike, and they've only lost 25. We haven't really been able to learn too much from them at this tournament, other than they're on form. Nico and Guardian, they're within the top 4 players in the tournament at the moment. I think Rops and Sunny are the 2 players above them in the stats. So the fact of the matter is those are 2 big dogs that you need to continue playing well. And then Rain can show up and do some absolutely influential plays like we saw in Mirage earlier in the tournament.
No doubt. But when we focus on their opponents, Liquid, I mean, going up against them, there is a fair share of firepower, but the general consensus is very intriguing. We do all focus on the fact that Liquid aren't operating at full capacity. We've seen what they're capable of in the server throughout this tournament, and indeed, some of the individuals have their moments, but every analyst I speak to, every player says that when Liquid are at their best, they could be one of the best teams in the world. My question is, why is that not a more common occurrence?
I think a mentality thing plays a big issue for these guys, especially in these matchups. They're going up against the likes of Big and Mousesports with a stand-in. Sure, Mousesports with Oscar, that's a massive threat. That's a top 5 team in the world for sure. The problem is, I think for these Liquid guys, they've been playing in a lot of tournaments lately. They've been going up against the likes of Astralis. It's probably a little bit of burnout playing, and then the whole mentality issue of, we expect to get through this. And I know Maniac can attest to this one. When you're in a game and you are such a heavy favorite, or you expect to be, you don't go in with 110%. And if you're not going in with 110%, the teammate sitting next to you probably isn't, and that will go down the entire line. So you're kind of expecting, let's say we were playing, and I'm like, yeah, I'll give this one 70% because Alex is going to give it 110 and do what he needs to do.
How it works.
Exactly, right? So everyone needs to be on that page. It's going to be up to Zeus to get them informed mentally.
Yeah, and we have to see what maps crop up as well. I am intrigued because, again, not necessarily this tournament, but they have played recently, and the bans do come in. Let's just pause it for a moment, if that's okay, so we can have this conversation. But I'm looking at the results. They dominated FaZe. Liquid beat them 16-3 on Nuke and 16-4 on Mirage over in StarLadder.
That was Season 4 in the 3rd place decider. That was that little asterisk, that little caveat we have to put in.
They weren't playing their hardest.
Look, the FaZe ban makes sense to me because Liquid have picked into that in every series they've played in this tournament thus far, so they're feeling super comfortable in that map. That just questions where are they going to take their first pick now that's been taken away. And overpass from Liquid kind of makes sense. We know how good FaZe historically can be on that map. I think FaZe are going to pick Dust 2.
What do you make of that, Maniac? That could be fun. I'm up for a Dust 2 pick, so SK are up for picking it. Maybe FaZe are too.
Yeah, I think that could absolutely be a possibility when you think of the individual power and maybe the little lack of structure and deepness in the game that they have right now. As Chad said, pretty expect veto. Liquid have been vetoing overpass all tournament long.
There's one thing there's one thing we forgot. FaZe have been banning Nuke every other time. They didn't want it to touch Nuke, so they're saying, Liquid, if you want to play Nuke, if you want to go into it, we're leaving it open for you. It's obviously not something that's easy to integrate a stand-in. They've gone for the punish, all right? So that's really good by Liquid. They're playing for the punish here. But the fact that FaZe have let that through means they definitely have prepped on it, and they definitely feel comfortable with Chrome. And otherwise, why would you let it through on the semi-final stage?
Oh my God, Dust 2 as well. We've got Nuke, Dust 2. Some of the newer additions to the map pool. We're going to see both of them here in a semi-final.
Look, I'm really happy to see Dust 2 in, and I was talking to Rain last night, and I asked him what map he was going to pick, and he said guess, and I said Dust 2, and he chuckled, right? Now, the reason I think FaZe need to pick Dust 2 is because you have so many playmakers in that roster, so many people who do fantastic off of spawns, almost similar to what we were talking about with SK yesterday on Dust 2, where they can have that mix. And hybrid Counter-Strike of being very strategical or having those moves at least, a fantastic understanding chemistry, plus having playmakers to work within a system, that is perfect CS.
Now, where do we go from here? So Train is left. Nope, no, it's not. I take it back. So we've got Cash potentially. Nope, never mind. Mirage will be up there.
Comfortable middle ground for both teams. I think we've seen these guys play like a lot of Mirage over the last couple of months, not necessarily against each other, but this is a map that both teams feel comfortable on, and both teams have some stars who can get a lot done.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree. I think FaZe is going to be pretty happy with the veto, with the 3 maps that they have right now. I'm also extremely satisfied with that Nuke pick, because I think it was one of the win conditions for Liquid to force FaZe onto a map where strategical and tactical background are needed. You cannot really FaZe, that sounds weird, just hope to just overrun them on the individual point of view. You want to push them into those trenches of tactical war, and I think Nuke was a good choice. I think Train can have been a choice. So Nuke is fine for Liquid, but the 3 maps, FaZe got to be satisfied, I think.
I think so too. I'm very intrigued by Liquid picking the T side of Dust 2 as well. That's a choice they've made. Wow, that's a whistle.
Yeah, well, we do have some mics here picking up all that crowd noise, so everyone at home can experience what we get, but maybe not as ear-piercing for the viewers at home, I hope.
Absolute murder. But anyway, it's going to be time for us to get this show started. Another day here in Brazil, and of course we have to make sure that everyone here knows that the show is starting. So let's get this one rolling.
Senhoras e senhores, bem-vindos a ESL One Belo Horizonte.
Vamos começar a primeira semifinal de hoje. Recebam na arena a equipe da FaZe Clan.
FaZe Clan stepping out to the stage, and this is going to be a new one for Croman. He had London. FaZe were definitely the favourites. This is very different. Guardian, Nico, Rain, Carrigan. This roster of fraggers going to be stepping out doing what they do best. But it's up against Team Liquid. This North American team has a South American twist, and Belo Horizonte loves it.
Taco, one of the golden boys of a Brazilian Counter-Strike, with SK Luminosity over the years. Obviously the support for him and Zeus. Must be quite the feeling.
Quite the feeling indeed. 10,000 fans who have watched them from home, watched them from wherever they may be. Now they get to watch him do what he does best here on the stage in Belo Horizonte. The chants are coming out as well. My God, I'm excited. I want to see what Liquid have got. And I have high hopes for FaZe Clan too. It's time for their huddles, and it's time for us to put our heads together here at the desk as well.
Yeah, I really like the picks from FaZe Clan here. Just having a little bit of a look at the last time that Liquid have played this map, it was against NRG, and they were able to get revenge. But I remember Cirque just using one Molotov outside on their smoke wall and absolutely destroying their game plan.
Yeah.
If FaZe can copy something that NRG have done and uses up against Liquid, that's fantastic. And the good thing for this roster of FaZe, they haven't actually played with Croman on Nuke yet. So however they want to use him, right, however they want to implement him, it's brand new. Liquid have nothing to go off. So the punish pick may actually be a bit of a Lion's Den play from FaZe Clan.
I don't know how much I've seen FaZe on Nuke. I mean, I don't know if this is necessarily one of the biggest maps in their arsenal. We've only seen them play it once, and that was in that third, fourth place decider.
Yeah, look, they've historically, you know, it's been a map they've dabbled with, not something that they've definitely picked or lent towards, but to allow it through here, they've gone, let's remove Liquid's comfort of Inferno and force them onto a map that maybe they weren't prepared for. That's kind of, I think, going to throw a spanner in the works of the situation for Liquid.
Because if I'm Liquid, and correct me if I'm wrong, Maniac, you're coming into this series, you know FaZe likes to play Inferno, you've seen them play it time and time again. You probably have the expectation that you're going to get to play your comfortable map.
Yeah, probably. It is possible that this Inferno veto from FaZe got them a little bit off guard, but then again, for me, in the end, they have to go for a more tactical map, so it could actually play in their favor that they don't fall into the trap of picking Inferno, whereas I think they need a map with tactical background. Something
that I think is going to be hugely important for Liquid here to get going in the right way. They're going to start on the T side of Nuke, right? So that's a problem. For them in this tournament, they've only won 3 out of 12 pistol rounds. Now look, that's not fantastic, especially considering how close their games have actually been. All double digits, like I've already said. If they want to get off in the right direction on the T side of Nuke, sure, you've got the crowd behind you. Sure, a bit of noise is going to mean you can get away with some top rushes, making a bit of noise in clutch situations that you normally can't. But it isn't easy going up against the wall of FaZe. You tell Croman to stand and deliver and get you 2 kills, he's going to do that. He's not going to really be in a position, I think, where he needs to be forced to rotate around. That's where players like Carrigan are going to pick up the slack, and they're going to allow him just to be more of a turret.
I think set him up, post him up on that CT side.
I agree, but I think what's encouraging and what's a good sign for Liquid, as I'm looking at their last Nuke games, is they've actually got good T side. They've had 8 rounds and 11 rounds as T, the 2 last time they played Nuke. So that kind of luxury must feel good when you go on to Nuke and you know you have the possibility to win a lot of rounds as T.
Right.
You feel safe as CT, and that must be okay for them.
Going to be very interested to see how influential Guardian can be as well. I mean, we always praise, there are other AWPers we praise more. Oscar, one of them, Kenny S, another, Device, a third. All AWPers that we praise for holding outside so spectacularly on Nuke. Guardian's never part of that conversation. I guess it's just because it is so commonly banned by FaZe Clan.
Yeah, and look, in this matchup, he isn't really going up against any Titans with the AWP. It is obviously Nitro, the main man, wielding that. Other players do pick it up. Twist, Naf, they can all do it. Taco using it as a utility as well. But look, I don't think that discussion is where it's going to be. You know, if he hits those AWP shots, it's going to be about, hey, we know that Liquid love to go for that secret play. How are we going to deal with that? Heaps of ways to do it. You can drop that one-way smoke that Glaive's been running nowadays at the top of secret. You can just heavy rotate, clear out that part of the map. It's just about, are FaZe going to take the fight to them and be aggressive and not allow them to go for the yard control? Or are they hoping that if they do give them secret, they have enough protocols in place to play the rotations?
Another question worth raising is how much of FaZe have we actually seen? They played Ghost Gaming and Space Soldiers to get to the semi-final. And now, you know, on the other side of things, we've seen Liquid tested by Mouse Sports and falling short, and they've only really got here by beating big clans. So actually, neither of these sides have had a big win. This is their first test for both of them, actually. I think we actually haven't quite got the evidence of form yet in this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. And as it couldn't be a paradox, but sometimes getting to the playoff, having no trouble at all, can come and bite you back, you know, because somehow you end up in a situation where finally the game is very hard to play, and it's the first time it happens, and it catch you off guard. Liquid, they've had disappointment during this tournament. They had to get back together and play a better game after being disappointing. So actually, they've bounced back once already. That can be a good thing for the next game or maybe in the final.
Yeah.
Let's remember the sentiment, though, from Karrigan coming into this tournament. This is a must-win for them, or they're going to be extremely disappointed. Now, with that mentality in mind, it's no more, hey, we have a stand-in. It's, hey, we're dealing with this problem. Croman is part of the team here. This is the 5 we're at the tournament with. Let's get it.
Let's get it! FaZe versus Liquid! It's over to you, Captain.
FaZe versus Liquid, and we started out on Nuke. It's going to be FaZe's first time on this stage. Liquid at least had a ceremonious play against Mouse Sports last night. We've already heard the taco chants. Elige, Zeus, all part of this lineup. Zeus, direct Brazilian. Elige, honorary.
Honorary indeed. But Matthew, we're underway. Will be a T-side start. Maniac pointed out they are very handy on the T-side. Good smoke towards main entrance. That P250 doing damage towards Heaven there as Nitro will make his way towards the window. It's Guardian lighting them up with the USP. 2 headshots, that's all they'll find as Nitro has to find a little bit more than one.
Swings around underneath of the ladder. The fact that immediately above Rain has been able to climb back up and get away with 29 HP is massive because he can hold off. Stay alive, keep Heaven covered. Can't climb that ladder directly after him. It's not possible, it's just not viable.
Well, for now, holding up. Nico exploring towards Secret. He knows they're still towards outside. Nitro, though, very aware of the prospect of him coming through. The timing's going to elude him, though. Who's going to come out on top in this duel? Nico doesn't seem to fancy it too much as Nitro tries to adjust. They want to maintain the advantage here, run the clock down as much as possible. He's got the intel there towards Heaven right now, gets the dink, and the bomb's going to drop off. It doesn't quite roll down. That would have been absolutely huge, and Nitro steals the frag back. 40 seconds now, Karrigan good position that CZ, and it leaves Nitro in the 3 versus 1. He has got 35 seconds. The problem is, though, they know Lower is going to be a bit of an issue for them. They're going to start rotating now. I doubt he gets a plan down here. As you can see, Karrigan ready and waiting towards the decon run. There's going to be a nice clean finish there. Great stuff from FaZe. Amazing shots from Guardian. It's always a little bit tricky to dart around when there's so much action going on, but his shot sounded crisp.
Smart from Nico as well. As soon as you said it, he didn't fancy the duel coming out of Secret. He backed off as if to say, all right, we'll play the advantage. I've got the information, but he actually did go back and re-peek it. As such, knew that they were going to Heaven. The kill that he gets to drop the bomb and force Nitro back pretty much confirms the round.
Yes.
So good find from Guardian to start things off as well. We'll want to see him go onto the AWP early. They did mention it on the desk that it's not necessarily his best map with it, but he's onto an M4 early, which is interesting enough.
AWPers in general is not their best map. It's so difficult to find frags outside because the smokes are so default these days. It isn't a force buy from Team Liquid, remember. They have got Deagle, sure, but no armor. Surprising, considering they got no bomb down. Most teams do force buy in this second. But just trying to save some cash here for the looks of things. It's very difficult to operate on Nuke with just pistols and armor. As Nico confirms the round, it will be a 5 versus 2 now. Taco and Twist trying to find any frags they can. Doesn't look like that will happen. I wanted to say as well, the fact you find a pistol on the CT side, that's such a massive asset. That does almost guarantee a 3-0 on a map like Nuke. And at that point, you can run away with a half. We know it's the most CT-sided map we have in the pool right now. Liquid may be able to overcome that. The fact that FaZe are here with a stand-in. We haven't really seen much from FaZe in general on Nuke, but maybe it's a bit of a wild card from them. There's a reason they didn't go for the insta-veto here. And we'll see whether this works out for FaZe going forward. Round 3 coming in. Should be another gimme round for FaZe. You can see just Glocks, PT50 so far. No armor again, of course. One smoke. I assume a vent drop without smoke. Try and smoke in front of the squeaky door. Get a player down there. But the thing is, you can't dive as quickly as you used to anymore. So maybe they'll just try and work towards outside. The one smoke will be used to help them cross towards the red box. At this point, should be up to Guardian just to spray them all down. He'll get 3. They have got a couple of frags in return. So this isn't a completely redundant round, as we'll see the bomb drop there and Chroman to finish things off. 3 players survive, and they'll have to recover those M4s desperately. They only get 1 of them back. So Guardian will go straight to the AWP map. 5 AKs for Team Liquid, but they want to make sure they had all their utility. They have all the smokes, the flashbangs, the Molotovs, more importantly here. That's the most expensive bit of kit on the T side. And do they want to open things up with a fast upper take? Try and shut it down. The fact they know FaZe have got some residual SMGs here. So you've got the MP7, the UMP, certainly counts as a bonus round here. And it's up to Liquid now to try and shut this down and abuse the fact they have lesser weaponry.
Smoke's down. Guardian's going to get aggressive. Knows they're there. Finds one already on a Liege. Backs off. Rain's got Naf. It's Guardian that's going to fall off it as well. It was 2 for 1, but not quite a second kill. He's still inside of the big garage. He'll fall off the angle. He wants to let them wrap at this point in time. They've got the advantage. Taco will find Kerrigan. The crowd realizing that through the kill feed will come alive slightly as watch inside a lobby. He holds toward the squeaky door, and it's been blown off by a nade. Kit down in front of it, by the way. That is the only... Oh, take it back. Croman's got one. I was going to say, this is the only kit in the play. It's not, but it's going to be viable should they get inside the site. Twist behind the flash will take out Nico, and Twist walking in finds Rain as well. The Canadian to open the site. Taco to hold the back line, and Croman will go down. That one was on camera. And the response certainly confirms it as Guardian waits in a 1 versus 3, but Taco on 1 HP, found by the AWP, Twitch through the middle, it's Guardian suddenly pulling it back, and it's just Nitro to find, goes for the quick shot. Nitro's not perceived, he's not gone aggressive, he's not gone aggressive, and Guardian steals it.
That's unbelievable. The crowd just have to applaud that one. They might not be the hometown favorites here, but that was just unbelievable from Guardian. No one can make the orb work like that on a map like Nuke. He didn't even go for the pistol. He legged Nitro at the start of that round. He could have finished that off a lot easier, but he goes for his forte. Well, something he's very well versed in.
Watch this.
The close range AWP. What the hell is that shot? That's insane. Oh, God, he's going to have a good game, Matt. That's going to shut down the morale of Team Liquid. That was their round. It was locked in. It was done. They've got to pick themselves up. They got the bomb down. The loss bonus, they can continue to buy here, but still, that's so damaging for Team Spirit. Round 5. And my God, that's one of the classic vintage Guardian performances there. Only a few Orpers can operate in that sort of manner. Very special.
Unbelievable. And you can see how timid Nitro was. He's like, oh, shit. Really?
Guardian, yeah, he's coming for me. That's unbelievable. Oh, that's going to set the tone for this game. Lots of talent on the server right now. Some of the world's best in terms of raw firepower. Liquid, though, for now, smokes towards outside, slightly deeper than usual. To allow them to get close towards main entrance as well. Nitro heads towards Secret. Guardian tagged up there, but he's allowed all 5 players to head towards Secret. I say 5, it's actually 4. Taco's holding towards lobby. Croman's got his work cut out for him. I did say in the pre-game, he's always good for 1 or 2 frags, it feels like, but he'll hold towards window for now. Naf holding the vents to stop any transitioning CTs. Oh, nice shot from Nitro there, out towards Decon, but still, Rain and Kerrigan doing work here. They're patrolling that lower side. They know there's a massive amount of players that have head towards lower.
Kerrigan holding outside of the vent, though, means Naf can't go back for free. Twist is going to get Rain. And Liege already inside of control room as well, leaves Guardian little to work with. 4-0 for FaZe in a round that should have gone Liquid's way. Guardian again is going to be the problem. He'll find a Liege. It's Naf to get the bomb back. But what does he do with it? Open doorway. They're certainly ready for his position. They're certainly ready for his arrival. It's Guardian once more with the AWP, and he's holding off. As Naf turns around, they're already quick on the case. Kerrigan sneaks in behind. We go 5-0 for FaZe CT side. That's the other important fact. Remember that clutch, because this is the CT side, meaning all the rounds, yes, you're in favor. It means Liquid just got robbed of one they desperately need.
And that would have really harmed the money as well of FaZe. In fact, they got a 5-0 star here, force them onto another eco. They're going to be so established going forward here. What a recovery from Carrigan and Rain. You can see Carrigan is pushing through, reacting to the fact they lost the frag towards lower. They got the information. There was a big amount of players that went towards the secret area. And for now, like we said, maximum loss bonus. You can go with a partial buy here. The Deagles, the CZs, a few smokes. They'll be deployed towards outside already. But it's all a bit of a ruse. You can see the rest of the team waiting in the ramp room. Twist to lead the charge here with the CZ. And they've got one problem waiting on the other side. Croman, decent fragger. And not a decent thrower, it seems, as he completely bottles the grenade. He'll be falling back and trying to buy himself some time here.
Croman, 2 kills and finds twists in this round. That's one of his 2 kills, so he's done all right.
Nico.
Getting on the board early. Nico does fail on taking down Nitro. The pistol getting the kill at range actually brings this to 3-3. Bomb getting in lower, but it's shut down. Taco found, no plant. Rain and Kerrigan with the kills. And Guardian, Kerrigan and Rain, all 3 to find Nav. Rain will get there first, 6-0.
No, I have to say, Nico overcommits to that frag towards lower. He managed to get the frag, stay alive, deny the bomb. The fact he swings out to go for a second, that was risky. But his teammates good enough to pick up the pieces there. And Nav missing out on a free kill in the back of Rain. Didn't work out for him, 6-0. Looking great for FaZe now, but another full buy for Liquid. They don't need the AWP. I don't think we'll probably see on their T-side at all, to be fair. Nitro more comfortable with the AK, but if they're able to shut down Guardian with just 5 rifles, I'm not so sure. It's going to take a lot of strategizing and smokes towards outer to get towards Secret. We'll see where Guardian is in this particular round. He's actually heading towards the lower area. He's going to be trying to stop them once they get down the steps itself. Nitro playing in front of the smoke at this point. They're not going to go towards lower. They're going to try and get towards main entrance. Rain's got that intel, and Nico's got the bullets to take them down. My God, it's 3 towards the main entrance. Clinical stuff after dropping the ball in the previous round. He makes up for it here, and this is looking fantastic for him. Perfect grenade, and the wallbang combo towards Twist. He's on for the ace now, and he's going to get it. Not quite. Taco will take him down there, but the round is completely done.
Yeah, Taco needs an ace of his own to pull this back. 9 past a minute to work with. Kerrigan will take down Taco. And that makes it 7-0 for FaZe at this point. Nico, what a round. Full shutdown. That was back into the gun range. No bomb plant either, so this maximum bonus, obviously, at 7 rounds, it's been there for a while. It's not going to have its full effect without bomb plants to go along with it. I thought Liquid were going to have a little more to offer on this map. We saw them.
To be fair, they did lose a 4 versus 1 to Guardian, you know. So
absolutely, no, absolutely, and it is T-side, that's right.
Yeah.
But Steven's still at 7-0, not getting bomb plants down as frequently as I would have expected. And we saw them, they picked this first and foremost, trying to curveball FaZe, which means this timeout is going to be crucial. The pressure's already on at this point in time. And we also saw them doing some clever stuff in warm-up, which we'll get back to, because if it happens, it might be one of the coolest plays. Potentially, it'll be one of the fanciest plays.
It's something for the second half. We'll leave it as a surprise. We'll see if we spot it. We saw it in the warm-up. But yes, you're right, that could be cool. But for now, yeah, Liquid, if they've won that round against Guardian, I feel like they'd have maybe 2 or 3 on the board right now. That was very unfortunate. It's not like they did anything especially wrong. He just played that unbelievably well. We'll get into round number 8. It's still quite early days here. 4 rounds on the T side is enough, so I'm not too worried just yet. They picked this for a reason, and Taco just swallows the grenade. And as he heads towards ramp, he has got a bit of a positional advantage there, but will fall back. Croman playing very well, just making sure he gets intel there. He's not overcommitting to frags. He knows ramp is a very vulnerable area, usually just 1 CT waiting there. If you go down with nothing, that is very detrimental, and he peppers up Taco even a little bit more there. Down to 24, he won't be peeking again.
Watch Rain, because that smoke had a small gap. He knows they've wrapped behind. Great kill from Elige. If Rain went through the smoke, he could have done massive damage. Elige does it get taken down by Guardian immediately after. Remember that time? Wow. Oh my God, Guardian shut up on the desk because he's showing everyone wrong about Nuke. He is running the show right now. And you want to talk about that timeout? That brings the first chance for Zeus, the other Brazilian on Liquid, into the equation. And so far afterward, they've not found much. Croman, this needs to be the man they start to pull apart. First rule of physics, no 2 objects can occupy the same place inside the smoke if they run into each other. Fire. Fire as quick as you can. Guardian will take down Nap. It's all on to Taco. And they've got to exploit. Good kill. Finally, Guardian gone. 4 kills for Guardian. He was looking for an ace, much like Nico. It's been individual performances. They've got to start surely to exploit ramp. They've got to start to dissect and figure out where Croman is. He's got to be the weakness they look for. Even if he's not showing that he is, they've got to hope that he is.
Well, It's Taco with 15 HP, and he doesn't even have time to plant at this point. What an unbelievable performance from Guardian so far. His movement, his awareness, his positioning, it's all just so perfect. Matt, we're 8 rounds in. He's got 16 frags and 178 ADR. This is a godlike performance if I've ever seen one. I said the Nuke was difficult to work with the AWP, but it's unbelievable what he's doing so far. Just
averaging 2 kills a round on Nuke.
Yeah.
It's not bad. Maybe a Rafters player with M4. People are running up blindly upstairs and matchmaking gets that. Not your op, surely. Unbelievable. Smokes go down, and it's CT-sided smokes as well as they try and deter and limit the vision from FaZe. Or rather, excuse me, from Liquid. As FaZe sets up Rain. Won't be able to spot them this time as they do get in towards Secret. They haven't really gotten any positioning in Secret so far, so this is the first time they've all gotten down there, and it's with pistols, but they have the bomb. We'll see if they can make it work. Smoke again to slow them, to counter them off, as the only rotation thus far is Nico, excuse me. Nitro, the one to be found, as I slip over it, but Twist and Elige, they're going to capitalize. That's guns picked up. Now they actually have a chance in this round. Croman still not wanting to get off the boost at ramp.
Oh no.
Lurk. Oh wow. That's bomb. That was bomb to be planted. Denied by a nade, and that puts Guardian perfectly positioned again with the AWP. They can't stop this guy. Everything they do right, he just pulls it apart and tells them it's wrong.
Yeah, this is going to be so difficult to remove him from the rounds. He's got 18 frags now. He's not missing a single shot. He seems to be everywhere. They get towards lower. They find 2 kills. But Croman, he's an intelligent player, man. He's reading the situations well. He's not rotating. He knows the tendencies he plays. He's watched the demos. Taco was waiting to go for the flank there towards the ramp room. He didn't move from that boost the entire time. He waited for Taco, took him down. They denied the plan. This is the perfect game from FaZe so far. When they're operating like this, it's a very scary prospect for any team. They're looking like world beaters right now. I mean, everything they're doing is perfect.
And rightfully so. Look, you can talk about the stand-in. You can talk about recent results. It's still FaZe Clan, and they are world beaters. There are 3 to 4, potentially 4 rounds that could have easily gone the other way in this game. That would have given Liquid the chance they need when they swap to CT side. To start T side is hard enough as it is. To have it go like this, to have it pulled apart by one man.
Yeah, he's making AWPing look like art right now. It's got a sort of motion to it. It's just beautiful.
Fluid.
It is. Well, there we go. Double nades to outside, and they connect. Nitro will take both of them. Finds him at 42 HP. Outside again. 4 players trying to make their way down. I did see a gap in that smoke. Needs to be very careful. Luckily, Guardian isn't the one watching it. He is smoked out for now, so he won't be finding opening kills at least. But Sneeko got a bit of trouble from the vents here, and he'll rise to the challenge. Takes down Elige, another opening pick for FaZe.
Elige is playing that angle correctly. He knows that Nico is holding off inside of the back vent, and therefore he's trying to play that new side vent angle. That is one aspect of it we've not really seen before. You can actually clear it when you take from Secret. Again, it still hinders the rotations, but it's interesting that it helps the way in. Croman and Rain, again, they're already in rotation. They're 1 step ahead of Liquid. This is another gun round, and it's another round where I don't think the bomb's going to be planted. I'm sorry. Down inside of the site,
like
and
that.
they're shooting
Come on, boys.
each other. Yeah, this is, the communication's breaking down. Stress is hitting. Pressure's on, and Liquid's not at all having the game that they were expecting. They've got to call another one. They've already used one.
Yeah, you need to calm down, boys. Work out. You're going to get a few rounds on the board here. I think let's just go for some upper executions. Outside and Secret just isn't working for us whatsoever. Let's look to the tactic book here. What have we got available to us? Default upper execution, get a bomb down, a lower drop, something like that. Right now, they're trying to go towards lower every single round. Those smokes outside, and Croman and Rain are just dismantling them, making them look very average in those blunders towards lower in the vents, shooting each other in the head of AKs. That's only going to add to the bickering and working out what's going wrong here. No pause, though. Interesting. They'll be on CZ, looking likely to be 11-0, but they have been finding frags with these pistols. They just haven't been able to close the round out yet. So much money for FaZe here. 10K for Guardian, 10K for Rain. Croman, 7,000. They're in a great position here. And that's what you want to do with your Croman. Sure, they've got pistols, but you want to win this round. Yeah. How are you going to do that? Get 1 kill, drop down towards lower, and buy some time here. Another kill for him. A bit of a missed jump there, but he stays alive. Might be able to get another. And look at him go. 3 frags, round over, and he dinked up Twist as well.
Solid from Croman. Guardian, AWP back down inside of the site already. 10-0's about to turn into 11, and the silence in the crowd says it all. Obviously, we heard the Taco chants early. Liquid's certainly capable. Hell, I favored them coming into this. I said it in our little preamble. As Nico and Kerrigan once again will get the final kills. Both of those guys have been solid, but again, it's 19 total for Guardian, and we are on round 11 done, put it that way.
This is the problem with Team Liquid. They don't have a big personality on that squad. You know, if this starts happening, you can't, everyone, we can see them to our right. No one's chatting, they look dejected, there's no energy over there. You've got to still think, we're on the T side of Nuke. We can just get 2 rounds here and we'll be fine. We can pull this one back, it's our pick. They need to pick themselves up here and find that energy. It looks very quiet over there. Need a timeout. Zeus needs to get involved. I'm not sure why they're not doing that. I couldn't tell you why they're not using the timeout. So you're 11-0 down. Get them, drop it every last few rounds here. Let's give the speech. Let's get the morale up. But still, this is still possible. Sure, it looks really bleak. 3 rounds, I would say, is workable. So we'll see whether this is possible as we get further and further into this horrible scene for Team Liquid. And almost perfect for FaZe. They're not dropping much at all here. Money won't be an issue for the rest of this half. Outside control granted towards Liquid. 1 frag for Naf, one of the big names. 3 for a lead, 5 for Nitro, and they'll go towards main. They got shut down by Nika before. Luckily, he's only good for 1 this time.
Kerrigan does find a leash. Naf responds. Twist as well. Twist on the AWP. It's an interesting change, but Guardian's got his again, and that's no change at all. But Twist finally answers the call, and they've got it down to just Croman. The stand-in, the scarecrow. Is he actually going to be able to deter Liquid from working toward this site? Bomb planted, and he's going to go hunting instead. They're not going to bother with it. They're going to stay together. If he gets in behind them, they've got to be careful because Twist has an AWP. The fact that he fired a shot early gives that away. It could have easily been a flank.
That's so smart.
It is. Oh, they've got to run through it. He wants to fight them as well because he thinks they're going to go expecting the defuse. It's not worked out in his favor. That means there's only 2 seconds left on the Molotov. This is gone. Round is over. Croman tried everything. And Twist, AWP, that's the change they need. 4 kills. Gets Liquid 1 on the board.
And there's still time for more here. It isn't over yet. The main entrance play, that's what they wanted to happen there. You can't just be scared of it, the fact that Nika got 4 frags there before. It's not going to happen every single round. You've learned from it. Try it again. If he only gets 1, that's absolutely fine. And Twist with the AWP, a nice little change there. He's brave enough to try it out, and it works for him. 11-1 now. You can see the Team Liquid fan base there. Not looking too excited, you can't really blame him. Guardian this time towards the garage. He wants to make sure they can't get towards those secret steps. It looks like they're just going to drop the same smokes and try something different here. Try and get towards the ramp. They know that's where Croman is. He's played a good game so far, but he's going to drop by a lead. That's much better. Good opening frag. They know ramp will be clear at this point, but only for so long. Guardian rotating in, and finally he misses a couple of shots there.
And Elige knew that that was going to be him, so he kept firing. He held it down, pushed him off the angle. And now they're going to back off and try and take advantage. So they take out Croman early, and now a little bit of confidence, perhaps. Not only that, a fantastic read again as they get both Nico and Kerrigan pushing through. Smoke to the main entrance. Taco's fallen to find rain. Guardian is the man left alive. However, he finally gets a kill on the board. It looked quick. We got there late. At this point in time, believe it or not, given the circumstances, the money's great in terms of being able to buy again, but they have to consider if they want to be broken down before the end of the half or not, and they know that there's a reset. Twist! He's up to the task.
This is the change they need. 11-4, absolutely fine on the T side of Nuke. They might even break the money down for the final round if they can pick this one up. Not going to happen just yet. There's Naf. 2 kills to his name. He's one of the absolute superstars of this squad. It can happen on the T side of Nuke, though. You just have one of those games, especially if Guardian's completely destroying you. But Swiss, I'm really enjoying this play from him. Good move. They don't really have a dedicated AWPer. Usually it's Nitro, but Twist, as you can see, certainly capable as he goes towards the huts right now. Going to flash through. Held off by the flames for now. Guardian positioned in ramp just to know. He wants to change things up. He knows that Croman may be focused in this stage.
And that was kind of where I was going, by the way, with the reset potential for FaZe, not only, but also for Liquid. 2 rounds in a row, they've avoided that so far, but if he had gotten more kills, more than 4 players surviving, Guardian could have picked them apart. He knows every round counts, so even if he concedes one, says, I'm not going to go for anything fancy, but takes away potential income for later, limiting them at 2 rounds, 3 rounds, great. That's all they need. Keep the numbers low. So a minute and 11 to work with, no kills early in this round. There's been a lot of early kills.
Well, they've realized they can't just go outside quickly at the start of each round and feed the FaZe machine. Less than a minute now. Guardian can have a slight gap through the smokes outside, but no one actually heading towards him. Just Elise, who's alone by the red boxes right now. The rest of the team positioned towards outside. So those smokes are just a bit of a decoy to suggest we could be down towards low. You're not 100% sure. We want to keep you guessing. Karrigan, if he had the auto shotgun, it could be good for a couple of frags here. Might just need one. As he waits, he will be taken down. And Taco surely doesn't commit. I thought he would. 30 seconds now. Karrigan still waits in the huts.
I don't think he could with 34 HP. He inched it out because he wanted to clear the position. Now he's going to go. It would have been tough. It would have needed almost a headshot because that gun's pretty quick to fire a second time. He's going to go back out. No mistake. Taco's head cleaned off. Every pellet seemed to have landed. Twist up close now on the AWP gets Nico. And it's suddenly Rain that rotates back in. Guardian's there with him. Rain's got the first kill. And Twist gets the response, but Guardian is still there, and he'll get Twist as he gets down the vent, but Elise waited. Side of the vent, and they never saw it coming that Guardian was still inside of the site. Chroman gets Elise back.
It's over.
The shotgun definitely dropped down. They'll pick up the op, but you're right. The time is gone. No bomb plants, and therefore no money for anyone left alive. They had to save the AKs.
That's exactly what Karrigan was waiting in the hut right there. He could have pushed behind them, maybe got a couple of frags, but he was watching that timer as long as he possibly could, knowing if he hears the bomb going down, he's just going to run out and stop that. He's just going to surprise him with the shotgun. But you could see it was a bit of a fumble from Liquid. Not really sure where to go. It's not an instant drop down towards lower. The bomb now, they went down about 8 seconds to go. You're definitely not going to get a plan there. So, unfortunately for them, they did get the opening pick, but this time it's all about Guardian once again. He quiet the last couple of rounds, but he gets one and taken down. Lovely shot from Elise. She's had a difficult game so far. 4 versus 3, but it quickly changes. Now just 2 players remain for Liquid. It's Elise and Twist in round number 15 here. Defend off 3 of FaZe. Nico, hungry for blood though as he comes out towards Secret. Chroman's got ladder locked down, but not for long. That's going to be a nice shot from Nico in return, but still, Twist has been the savior of Liquid in this half. They only have 2 rounds short, but they're both courtesy of him. 4 kills in one, 2 in the other, and maybe he can find them a third.
Twist goes hunting. No chance against Karrigan, held and hold. Immediately with the M4, 13-2, a 3-1 clutch, a 4-man spray down for Nico. I guess it was 3+1, to be fair. 4 rounds, 4-kill round for Guardian immediately after. You have to consider what could have been for Liquid, but man, oh man, this play, that second shot was unbelievable. And you heard it, there was an applause from the crowd because even they were recognition toward the skill that it was.
Yeah, they were so hyped that Liquid about to win that round, but you can only admire this skill of Guardian. When he plays like this, every once in a while, when he's dropping 25 frags in the first half and he's having those unbelievable clutches, you can't argue with how powerful he is, how decorated he is as a Counter-Strike player, an absolute veteran that seems to be getting better as time goes on. It's Dust 2 next. Remember, this is Liquid's pick. They're 13-2 down, but if they can win the pistol, there's no reason why they can't do this to FaZe. It all starts here. They lose the pistol, I'm afraid it is pretty much an instant GG. But if they can win it, which is certainly possible, they're right back in this game. They'll take the 3-0, but then they have to really dig their heels in at that point.
Well, with that, pay close attention to Taco because Ramp is looking a likely suspect. Guardian's already snuck behind. Good find from Elise. That takes down the other approach. Taco's not even going to bother battling. He's going to rotate immediately. Nico needs to watch from Turnpike. Elise tries to catch them when they drop. Taco is alone at this point in time. Nitro's gotten inside of the vents, and they jump. Oh my goodness, Rain just knew to check the corner in the air. Headshot, love to see his POV. Bomb goes down from Karrigan. Smoke off at the door, decontamination, and that'll limit them. Twist goes aggressive. They're there together. McCroman finds the kill, and they're going to swing out. Nothing Naf can do. Overwhelmed, and Chroman with a double. It's all down to Elise and Nitro. This is the old duo. They were formidable. They still might be. Elise getting one. Goes toward the window, but jumping through. Never touched the ground, and Nico cleans him with one shot.
Desperate touch of the bomb here, Matt. He's got no kit to work with. Rain can sacrifice himself, but he knows he's not on that bomb. No one would full defuse in this sort of situation. Nika to close things out. They got the opening pick, but that pounce towards lower. We've talked about this previously. On this version of Nuke, lower is so deadly. If you can access the lower side, the retake is so difficult now with that vent change. You can't see the vents now from lower. You saw in that screenshot there. There's no access from the vents towards the bomb site directly. If the T's get the bomb down and they have manpower in towards the windows and decon, you're absolutely done for. 14-2. Great opening kill from Rain towards lower, and that's just going to be an insta-force buy here. You can't save any cash, boys. Have to win this round. CZ, scouts, couple of flashbangs. And it's up to FaZe to give this one up. They might just do it. Taco good for one. Does dink Chroman as well. But ramp now taken over by the T side.
Naf back toward NX. Croman that's already rotated down. Guardian gets out Nitro. Mac 10 as well, so he's looking to farm it up. Twist. Oh, he's got to get that surely. Lost some HP, valuable HP as well, because now picking up an AK-47, he's got armor to go with it. I expect they're going to save because it's very hard to take the underside again.
It's a bit of pill to swallow, isn't it? You're 14-2 down. Yeah, we've got to save, boys.
But get the guns. I mean, look, go on a run. You've got to believe in it at least. It's Nuke. That's the one salvation in the 14-2. 15-2 as it's about to be.
Yeah. Now we just need 13 rounds in a row, boys. Hard work's been done. Let's just do this.
Just trying to be optimistic.
Yeah.
It's all I can offer at this point.
15 frags to Twist, by the way. That's pretty unbelievable when they're getting battered 15-2. He has performed well. You can see Naf, unfortunately, not quite as much, 2 and 16. And this does not bode well. This is their pick against FaZe. About to go into Dust 2, a fragging map. You haven't really got warmed up at all. You've barely fired any bullets if you now fly.
Yep.
123 ADR for Guardian.
We might as well reveal the secret. I don't think we're going to get to see it. So
sure.
In the warm-up, I kind of didn't want to reveal it for 2 reasons. One is I wanted to see if it would transpire because I don't want other... Sometimes I don't feel like spoiling to other teams. They've been working on something. I'm sure this has been seen. You can do a cool surf above Big Garage on the little rim, basically where the coil would... that the garage would roll up into. So if you jump off Blue Box, go across it, you surf, you can land and bunny hop into secrets. So you said if the smokes were down, they can push through. They can get there quickly. You can basically come around the corner if anyone's holding in there. It's very situational.
Yes.
It's not like it was a set play we saw that was mind-blowing, but it was just a cool thing that if it worked, it would be a highlight clip forever.
Yeah, it looked really cool. So they definitely wanted to try that. We saw it in the warm-up, but don't even get a chance of a gun round potentially here. 15-2 down, Scout CZs, Mac 10s. It really is as far from ideal as you can possibly get in your map pick against a team like FaZe. It is going to be a FaZe map here, but at this point, Liquid, win a few rounds, try and get 3 or 4 in a row. Let's get warmed up and get ready for Dust 2, which they certainly can play. We've seen them do it plenty of times, so here's a flashbang. Guardian, not going to be flashing Taco. He might be good for a couple here. He is. That's better. Crowd still believing, but for now, 3 versus 4 ensues. Still a lot of work to do here for Liquid.
Croman's going to leave the bomb toward radio, and that's the smart call because they want him to go first and get the information at lower. Good find from him, but Elise responds. Picked apart twice by the Scout. It takes an AK out of both sides. Nitro, I'm sure, would love to have that AK. If they can get him down there, it's really worth rotating. May not need to. Twist, good shot to find Rain. Nico's going to go back to gather the bomb. They never spotted it over here, so he's safe to do so. 15-2, 18 seconds. I think we've got a 3rd round. That flash, not... Oh, it does bounce back. It did bounce back to catch Nitro. Dropping into the site, though. Twist changes his angle. Nico never sees it. 15-3.
15-3. Money not really there for FaZe. Will they force buy here? Don't have to. Could just give Liquid a bit more warm-up time if they do. I feel like just an eco at this point. But Taco, he gets it done. He's given a lackluster weapon, but makes a promising play. And it won't be the force from FaZe. That's smart. Sometimes teams get carried away and it's us is forced by. It's obviously our game. It can still go wrong. Sure, it's about maybe a 2% chance this is a loss at this point, but it's not worth taking the risk. Let's just close it out properly with the AKs. Oh, maybe even now. Carrigan, great opening shot with the Scout there towards Nitro. This still could fall apart. My God, that's 2 fantastic shots from him. Okay. Maybe even a 3rd. Oh, wow. He's going to shut it down by himself, Matt.
Kerrigan on a Scout just absolutely wrecks Liquid. And at that point, it's not something they can afford. Lige nearly got tunneled toward heaven and caught off. Guardian's actually gotten Taco down. It is onto Lige. 1 versus 3. And they're going to double it up. Croman swings out.
What the hell was that?
And FaZe 16-3. It's more one-sided than Toyota. The LMP won it. Come on.
Yeah.
As it's immediately, I mean, let's face it, Guardian was unbelievable.
He was. That was one of the craziest Guardian performances I've seen this year. That first half, you can see Rain giving a little massage. I keep that up. We need that. Dust 2 coming up next, the Orb Playground. We're going to want to see him perform at that level once again. That's Liquid's pick going against them. 16-3 and a Carrigan 3K on the Scout. That was just an eco round. And he closed it out with some fantastic shots there. Really, really well done. This clutch as well. That's the best of the tournament so far for me.
Unbelievable clutch. And you want to talk about crowd noise? You want to talk about things players want to hear? The only sound Kerrigan wants is dead silence as he keeps them off the scoreboard. It's 1-0 FaZe. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with map 2.
Incendiary out.